Hey guys, it's a different day. Only the other ones will know. Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about I have got such an 80s thing going. It's just because of the curly hair. I took a diffuser to my hair and like I'm okay with it. Like I like it, but like I'm just like, is the world ready for it? Do we really want to bring this back? I don't know. I kind of don't care. I like it. I like it. It's kind of fun. Anyway, so yeah, in today's video, I wanted to do a little bit of a girly chat, girl talk video because I feel like this is such a big, important topic. And I mean, like, I hope like all y'all have big sisters that you can talk to this stuff about because it is a really big deal. But at the same time, in case you don't, or in case they don't talk about this stuff with you, like, let's just hang out, let's chat, let's talk about it. I'm gonna try not to get too personal or like get too literal with any of this stuff, but like just to keep the concepts general, because I think these are things that, I mean, I don't know, like you kind of have to figure out for yourself. So like, how beneficial is it to talk to someone else about it? I don't know, but I think just like opening the door for conversation really, really is helpful and beneficial. So yeah, basically, in the last video I talked about I moved to a new city, and then, well, in every single video I talk about that, but and then basically like you have the opportunity to choose what kind of person you're going to be. You can choose your sense of identity. In the past there was no real room for I want to say guy relationships to go physical or wrong. Like I just didn't really set up any opportunities for that. I wasn't When I lived in the town that I used to live in, I didn't want to be involved with any guys there because I thought, I'm going to see you. You live in the same town as me. Like, no, thank you. I would rather be in a place where, like, if it doesn't work out, it's okay and we can kind of part ways. Like, there's enough space for that. I don't know. Yeah. In high school, I kind of talked about this too, like in my To All the Boys I Never Loved video. But I just, there were some, it just like, with the guys or the relationships in high school, like relationships, like it was pretty obvious why those never turned physical, because it was like, oh, I don't like you like that. Like I just don't like, if I know I don't like you as a person, like why would I want to do anything physical with you? I don't know. That's kind of how I felt about it in the past. Now I feel a little bit differently about it. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about this, but just conceptually. So I think first off, you kind of have to have a conversation with yourself. So if you decide to go downtown or like go clubbing or whatever, any of those things, I think it's good to decide beforehand kind of like what you're okay with and what you would feel comfortable with, what you don't want, what you want to, like, I know some people can have like a religious attachment to it. You don't have to. But like if you want to save. If you want to keep anything for your future partner, then I think that's good to figure that out beforehand. I don't know. When I was younger, I wrote this one thing and it was basically like, ooh, you know, it was a thing for like my future husband or whatever. And it was kind of like, oh, I want you to know that you're the only arms I've ever danced in. Like you're the only one I've ever kissed. And like for that, it means so much more. And what a beautiful sentiment. What a beautiful sentiment. And I'm not like shitting on anyone that believes that, because I think that's a good, beautiful thing, like if you want to save that, that's amazing. I just think for me, I knew it wasn't the most important thing in my heart to save all that stuff. So I was kind of surprised that I wrote that. I don't know. I didn't, because for me, I didn't want to have my first kiss on my wedding day. That's not what I wanted. Like I just didn't want that. So I think I had a conversation about it with myself beforehand. I was like, okay, what do we picture? What do we want? And okay, this sounds kind of bad, but like a little person in her 20s or whatever, I was like, you know what? I want to make out with someone. I've never done that before. I want to make out with someone. So like that was kind of a goal I had, speaking it into existence, law of attraction stuff there. In reality, if you're a girl and you want to make out with a guy, like chances are the situation can present itself. I don't know. You get yourself all pretty, you head out. I don't know. But yeah, so I wanted that. I didn't want to have my first kiss on my wedding day, and I also didn't necessarily want my first kiss to be just like a little peck, because I think those are awkward. It's like, why'd we do that? So I wanted to like make out, like that's what I wanted. But that was the thing that I wanted. That was a decision that I made, you know. And then, so yeah, figure out what you will and won't do. Figure out what's important to you and like what you want to save and what's less essential. And then with the things that are less essential, I remember thinking this before too, like basically pay attention to how you feel in a situation. Because I think you can, let's say you like, oh, I'm okay with making out with someone, but like you're in a situation where you would have the opportunity to do that, but you don't feel comfortable, then I would say all bets are off. No, like this is not what you agreed to. So I think it's important as well to like set up how you want to feel in a situation. And I really do think that like basically when you're experiencing things for the first time, like your brain is making all these connections, like this is the type of environment I'm in, this is how I feel when this is going on. And I think like that's why people in negative relationships, they have seen that before, they felt that before, so they seek out the things that their brain knows are familiar and they have previous connections in. That might sound kind of confusing. It's kind of a theory that I developed, and I think it's really true. Basically, like, yeah, whatever situations you're in, your brain takes note of, and in the future it might seek out similar opportunities or similar situations. So that's why I think like it's important for your first times doing anything to be in environments that you feel safe and you feel protected in, and that you feel good about the situation, that you don't feel pressured or any of that stuff, you know. So I think as much as you can protect yourself from those, I think a person should do that, because you do want you don't you do want positive associations with those situations. Like I think, yeah, I just think like they can be a really big deal. And I think especially for girls, like I think we do create biological connections, we do create emotional connections with people that we are intimate on really any scale with. So I think if you don't see a future with a person, I don't think it's smart to set up emotional connections with them and biological connections. I don't think that's smart, because your brain will want to keep going back to patterns like that, or maybe to that exact person. I really haven't done much, guys. Like I still haven't done a lot, but I just take a lot of notes. Like I'm a note taker. Like even before I kissed anyone, I read so many articles. I was like, this is how to be a good kisser. This is how to be a good kisser. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to pay attention to all the steps. And I wasn't like, okay, now we can't. Like, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of like, these are some notes. This will kind of help with it. And he said I was good. So yeah, thanks. There's that. If that gives me any credit or whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I think like it's important to still be particular with whoever you do anything with. Like it is a big deal, you know. I think there's people that will say like, girl, it's not that big of a deal, you know. I think it's not the end of the world, and I think in some cultures they can really like demonize that stuff. They'll be like, oh, it's so bad. Like I think, you know, in the environment that I grew up in, it was so kind of like unsaid. Like it was like, oh my gosh, like yeah, it's amazing, like it's an amazing beautiful thing, but also don't do it, like. And it was like, okay, I'm kind of getting some mixed signals here, you know. And I just think it is an amazing beautiful thing, but just be really particular with who you do that stuff with, because I don't know. And like some girls, like they get less emotionally attached and they can walk away from a situation. I think if you are someone that's more emotionally inclined, it's best to like protect your heart in situations like that. It's kind of like cutting off the boy that you know is toxic, not talking to people anymore that you know are gonna like bring you down or be bad for you. So yeah. And then I don't know, there was a couple of times like with dating, my whole perspective on it is like basically if the guy has the guts to like ask me out, I'll honor that and I'll probably go out with him. If I'm really not interested, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm like, oh, sorry, no, thank you. But for the most part, I would say if a guy is willing to, you know, literally ask me out, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll go. And then it's just like a matter of them to show up and if they want to go out or not, I guess, yeah. But like I'm pretty open to that. But there's been guys that like they've asked me out, I've hung out, and then I thought, yeah, I don't want to do this again. So like that's fine too. Like you don't owe them anything. And that's personally what I split. Like when I go out on dates, I like to go, excuse me, I like to pay for my stuff. I think half and half is pointless because like what if theirs is more expensive? Like why deal with that? I'm not going to make them pay for all of it because I don't want them to think that they owe me, that I owe them a dang thing. Like, because I don't, you know, I can pay for my own stuff. Like we both gave up our time. I don't owe you anything. And I'm not going to pay for his food because I didn't need it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess like if I know like when I go out like on dates with like my siblings and everything, sometimes like they'll cover it, sometimes I'll cover it, sometimes we just like go like otherwise we just like pay for our own stuff. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Like if I choose to pay for someone's, like it's kind of a treat and vice versa. But like if I'm going out with someone for the first time, I like to keep that, like I'll just pay for my stuff, like you don't even have to worry about it. But yeah, and like if a guy wants to buy me a drink, I will let him do that, you know, that's fine. I remember there was one time I went out with like a group of people and I had a drink and I just like basically after the first drink I realized I didn't like him, I wasn't into him, and I kind of knew that to start with, but I was like, you know what, he asked me out, I'll honor that, that's okay. And like you 100% don't have to, you know, just because a person asks you out doesn't mean you have to go out with them. But yeah, so I was like, you know what, I want something to do, yeah, let's go out, let's go check out this little bar, I've never been there before. Yeah, but like my next drink I bought because it was like, okay, now I know I'm not gonna take advantage of your, you know, hospitality. I'm not gonna lead you on. I'm not gonna make you think that these drinks are getting you anything. I don't know. And then we switched bars, and then it kind of bothered me actually because like I think sometimes guys use like shots as an excuse for their sucky serenading skills. They're like, do we need shots? Do we need shots? And it's like, why? Because you can do it yourself. Like I shouldn't have to have alcohol to like you. Like if I don't like you, I don't like you, and that's fine, you know. I don't know. It was just like the most unattractive question. And I think like people have done less and not ticked me off, but for some reason that question was like, no, thank you. Like absolutely not. Like also you're gonna inhibit me, so like I mean it's in your favor. Like no, you're the worst. So I don't know. Basically you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, and I think you also have to take responsibility and not put yourself in dangerous situations, you know. There's been times that like I knew bad things could potentially happen, but like that was the situation that I chose to put myself in, and like I tried to, you know, I always have like my pocket knife with me, and I always have pepper spray with me, like hopefully I don't have to use them, but like I would rather, like I think you have to like take responsibility for the situations that you put yourself in, and like obviously there's terrible, unfortunate, like, you know, just horrible things that can happen, but I think like for people in regular situations, you know, like you have to kind of take control and be as responsible as you can, because stuff like that can happen and we don't want it to happen. But yeah, like in situations where that might not be the case, and you have to just like protect yourself. Yeah, so that was kind of like a little bit of my girl talk video. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Don't do anything with a person that, I mean, like technically you can do like the little meaningless flings, but like just understand that like you might get attached and it might F you up. So like you have to be kind of aware of that, and like is that something you want to sign yourself up for? You can if you want to, but like, because I think like you 100% have a choice, but I just think like be smart about it, and like protect your future self, protect her heart, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my opinion on it now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what advice I offered. I think I just shared some experiences, and I hope that some of that's beneficial. I hope you guys can take some of that away. But yeah, all right. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Good luck in all your romantic endeavors. Also, there's all kinds of like good stories of relationships working out. So if you think that probably won't happen to me, like just hold yourself to a higher standard. You know what I mean? Like wait for the person. Wait for all those good things. Sorry, I'm gonna say this quick too. I think I got to a certain point where I just like stopped imagining that good things would happen for me, like relationship wise. So it feels kind of good again to think about that, and like to think about a situation working out to as good as it could, you know. I don't know. I just kind of stopped believing that. So good things can still happen. Like, just if you're gonna hold someone else to a high standard, you know, you yourself stay at a high standard, and that can be in how you treat people, like how you treat someone that you're gonna be in a relationship with. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I hope. I kind of like had to dance. There's some things that I don't want to like literally say, so like I hope you guys can like pick up those inferences. But I don't know. I hope this is helpful. But yeah, peace out. Maybe we'll do more of these in the future. But yeah, bye.